just had to move a lot. Now you have to sit still because I'm going to take a picture of you guys, my audience. So sit still, hold tight. That was it. Yeah, now I need a clicker.
Did everybody smile?
I couldn't tell. I was not focusing on all the faces. Well, let me start this talk by telling you how I grew up and how I came here to stand in front of you, all guys. Yeah, here. So, first, I grew up in a very nice and warm, gentle environment. Waldorf school, everything was soft, and there was an environment close to the river, lots of nature, all green, and very creative. So we did a lot of creative things. And if you look closely or really good, you can see me sitting on the ground on your left with a big smile. And I think I was 4 years old or something back there. And I still see a lot of these people, my classmates back then. And I even speak with my teacher, Erika. So this gentle environment really formed my base of creativity. And after school, I started my career as a dancer. That didn't work out due to back problems. So I was looking into my curriculum, thinking what to study next. Oh my dear, I was only dancing in my life. And I thought, well, let's study geography, because I'm interested in the world, so let's do that. I did it for 2 years, and due to internships, I came into these rooms of teachers, and I just was like, I don't want to be in this kind of environment with these old grumpy people doing the same the rest of his life. So I decided I had to do something creative again. I couldn't draw, I couldn't paint, so I decided, let's study photography. Who cannot push a button, right? So I went to the city to go to art school. And when I came to the city, I was still discovering myself and who I was, what I wanted to do in my life. And I got really, really inspired by all these colors in the streets, all the different foods you could eat. You could choose from all these kinds of different things I've never seen before. So the buzz in the city, oh, it was amazing because the city was always going on, never stops, always something to do. And I was just amazed by all these colors you could find everywhere. And I was amazed by how different people could live, like these people living on a boat. So it really energized me to look differently where I came to live in this place, amazing place. So I went to art school and started photography there. And I was just playing around, figuring out what photography means. What does this 2D image, what does it mean? I was making installations in front of the camera and then taking pictures of it. So what was happening in front of the camera changes when you see it 2D. You get another reality. I was putting things upside down just to see if things will start floating or drop down. Finding all these toys in toy stores. I was playing with reality. What happens if you put somebody in the water? This is my sister. She's not dead, by the way. Still alive. So, playing around with this creativity, finding out how you could make your own reality. This is a landscape with painted balloons putting into the landscape at a certain point of the day, driving with a car to those bulbs, putting the light on, and then you create this kind of different world. And here, this really happened. The ceiling came down. Put it upside down again. Found some weird stuff in the toy store. Playing with shadows. If you make something flat, or how does something stay 3D? How does it work? So, with this external eye, you can change how you perceive your own reality. This is me, of course. So there was a really big change for me, how you could look at your own world. I graduated in 2005, stayed in the city for a few more years, and then went to the south of Holland, close by, where we are right now, for love, and came to live in this satellite city, where you could raise your average Dutch family with 2.6 kids and 1.3 dogs. So I came into the city and I was not feeling at home. I felt judged because I was this city girl with a city accent, everybody looking weird at me because I'm this artist or something. And it was boring. There were no colors in the streets. There was no different food. You only could go to one store and get the food they had. So this boredness, well, I was really unhappy. I was really lonely. Couldn't go for a coffee that quickly with friends or just have these visits. But the one thing that was really, really great, well, I think the most beautiful thing in my world, is that my son was born there. And I started taking pictures of him, of course. He was my best model. Really close by. And by making pictures of people, I found out that I was pretty good at it and made more portraits of people. I never did it before. I was only using people as props or as a stand-in in my pictures. And I was making these portraits. And it was people were very happy with getting these pictures. So there was like, whoa, okay, I can do this. But I was still living in this boring place, nothing happening. So, yeah, my life became really, really static. And I decided to do something about it and moved to the city again. I moved to where we are right now, in Eindhoven. I moved to Stijp S. And so I came back into the city at this really vibrant piece of Eindhoven. Eindhoven felt alive, all the design, all the new technologies, all the people from all over the world coming to live here, settled down. I think we have like 160 nationalities or something. So everything was cool again, and the blood was rushing through my veins again. I was inspired, and I came to live in Anton, the white building on your right. And I came in this community. I was welcomed with open arms, and in a very short amount of time, I got to know a lot of people, my neighbors. And I decided just to go for coffee have long, long talks, and take portraits, make portraits of them. This is Henk. This is the first one I took pictures of. He's the neighbor who lives beneath me. And he reminded me a lot of my father because he's also an artist and a musician. So the connection was really easily made. And I've been taking pictures of him on the roof. This is on the roof and around the building where he helps out people. I sort of followed him a little. I've been doing this for 3 years now, more than 3 years. And at this time, I think I've taken pictures of 80 people, 80 of my neighbors. This is Tessa and Alex, Appie and Hanny, Barbara, Hanneke, Carlo, Martijn, Joris and Femke. And through these years, it became more and more and more. And lately I was focusing on this project really hard and putting up all these portraits of all these people on a wall just to see who they are. And something struck me. I was looking at these pictures. I see men, I see women, I see old people, I see young people, I see even kids, except for my own son. I see people with red hair, dark hair, all these differences. But what I don't see are the people from Africa. No people from Suriname. I don't see people with a Moroccan background. So there was like this moment for me that I could really reflect on my own community. I went to the city to be part into this buzz of 160 nationalities. And by doing this series, I could see my own community and see that was not happening there. So, with this external eye, again, I could change how I see my own world. And that's the amazing thing of photography, that it can show you that. And nowadays, I'm making this series about internationals coming to live in Eindhoven, settle down, work here, have lives, and tell all these stories of these people, the way they live, what they do. And what I wanted to do in the future is that I can do that all over the world. Dive in these communities and make these series and show people who they are, where they are, with whom they are. So, what I want you to take with you is that you, my audience, is also a community. We are also a community. Just by showing up here today, we are all part of a community. And we are all part of a bigger whole. So, I just want you to see yourself. Hey! It's you guys. So we're part of this community. We're a big part of a bigger whole. Thank you.